What's going on, Falcons fans? Logan here. Welcome back to Rise Up Rundown, and if you're new here, welcome. So, some of you guys have been requesting me to make yet another schedule prediction video, and I actually was planning on making two. One of them during the summer, and one literally right before the season starts. Well, it's summer, and I guess it's time to make the second to last 2019 Falcons schedule prediction video. I did not exactly get a lot of happy Falcons fans in my previous prediction video. Now, the only thing I will say is some people were like, okay, it's way too early. Why would you predict this? Dude, the title of the episode says way too early predictions. But anyway, I feel a lot better about this video. I hope you guys agree with what I have to say here. And I hope I can get this off because this is like what, the 11th time I tried to record this, and it's 12:24 a.m. Let's get this started with week 1 at the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to stick to what I said in the last video. I think we lose this one. Look, the Vikings are a bounce back team. They improved their offensive line, so now Kirk Cousins is going to have time to throw to one of the better receiving duos in the league in Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs. And we all know how good that defense is. Plus, Minnesota is a very tough place to play at. So with Minnesota being a tough place to play at, and the Vikings as a bounce back team, and also it's week 1, we're probably not going to have everything figured out, especially on the road. I don't think we start 2019 off with a bang. I think we lose this one. Week 2 versus the Philadelphia Eagles on a Sunday Night Football. Well, I feel really good about this one. I think the Falcons are going to be energized to be back in Atlanta, and they want to entertain this crowd as much as they can on a home opener. The crowd is going to be energized to see the home opener, especially on a Sunday night, and I don't think the Eagles can take all this energy. Plus, it seems like the Falcons just kind of always seem to win week 2 anyway. Like in 2016, we beat the Raiders at Oakland, even when the Raiders were a playoff team. 2017, we beat the Packers with Aaron Rodgers. 2018, we beat the Panthers when they had like that little hot streak when Cam Newton was in. It doesn't really matter who we play week 2. We just kind of always win. And I think it's going to be the same result here. We win this one. Week 3 at the Indianapolis Colts. Look, this is going to be... I'm going to be surprised if we win this one. The Colts are a very good team with Andrew Luck, Marlon Mack, T.Y. Hilton, maybe the best offensive line in the league, Eric Ebron, and an underrated defense. And the sad thing is that they play really well at home. And, well, this game is in Indianapolis. So I think the Colts are just going to take advantage of all of that, and they kind of take us down, unfortunately. But it gets better week 4 versus the Tennessee Titans. Now, I understand that the Titans are a little hard to predict. Like, they seem to always have a little bit of hype surrounding them every year, but kind of seem to pull off the same result every time. They seem to just kind of always go 9-7, and Marcus Mariota never really seems to develop. But they still end up pulling off at least some surprising wins. Like, they'll beat the Eagles one week and then the Patriots after that, and then the very next week they just lose to the Bills. So this is a very tough team to predict, but I guess we win this one only because, first off, I just think we're kind of better on paper. And also, we have home field advantage, so we win this one. Week 5 at the Houston Texans, we win this one as well. The Texans are not going to be as good as they were last year because, look, I know they picked up an offensive lineman in the draft, and Texans fans, correct me if I'm wrong, like, they maybe picked up more offensive linemen than just that one in the first round. I'm not keeping up with the Texans, all right? But all I know is that I just don't think their offensive line is it's just not good. It's maybe the worst offensive line in the league. And Deshaun Watson is going to have a tough time trying to make this offense sensational because of that. Defense might be fine, but I think with a terrible offensive line, it's just going to be hard for the Texans. So I don't think the Texans are going to be as good as they were last year. And plus, they won their division last year, so now they're playing the teams that won their division last year, so that might be tough on them. So we win this one. I just don't think the Texans are going to be good. Week 6 at the Arizona Cardinals. This is the game in my previous video that nobody really seemed to agree with. I said that we were going to lose this game, and I still think the Cardinals could be a good team. I mean, they got Cliff Kingsbury as a new head coach, and he's done a phenomenal job. I mean, look at the offseason moves he's made. He has Terrell Suggs and Jordan Hicks from the offseason, and he picked up Kyler Murray in the draft. You still got Larry Fitzgerald and David Johnson, Chandler Jones, Patrick Peterson. It's not that bad of a team, and this game is played at Arizona, so we still could lose this game. But I think we are going to win this game because of two things. One, maybe the Cardinals don't necessarily have things figured out this year. It's Kyler Murray's rookie season, and I think it's Cliff Kingsbury's first year as an NFL head coach. So maybe they won't have things figured out this year, but also the Falcons just kind of always seem to beat the Cardinals anyway, so we do win this one. Week 7 versus the Los Angeles Rams. We are playing a Super Bowl runner-up, and in my previous video, I said that we were going to win to this team because we just kind of always seem to beat the Rams. Like 2013, we beat them. 2016, we beat them, even in LA. And then in 2017, in LA, we beat the Rams, but the difference is that this was a playoff team we beat. And maybe if the Rams come to Atlanta, they'll have, like, terrible thoughts of the Super Bowl loss. So maybe that'll affect them. We'll see. But they're still a Super Bowl runner-up. I think we do lose this one because, I mean, you got to give them credit. They're a tough team. Week 8 versus the Seattle Seahawks. We win this one because, I mean, for one thing, it's the Seahawks coming from Seattle to Atlanta. And the Seahawks do not play well on the East Coast. They lost to Jacksonville. They lost to Tampa Bay. And they seem to always lose in Carolina. They just do not play well on the East Coast. But it's not just that. I don't even think the Seahawks are going to be a good team this year. I mean, they have talent on their team, right? But they don't have enough talent to compete with the other teams, in my opinion. And the Falcons are going to be a tough team to keep up with. So with the Seahawks having not as much talent as other teams, and they don't play well on the East Coast, we win this one. Then we have a bye week, and then we got to play at New Orleans. In my previous video, I said that we win this game, but I changed my mind. I don't think we're going to win this one. New Orleans is a tough place to play at. It is one of the tougher places to play at in the whole entire league because those fans, I'll give the Saints fans this, they are rowdy, I will say that. And the Saints do have a good team. And this rivalry is so heated, but with the Saints having just a huge advantage at home, I do think the Falcons are probably going to struggle here, very unfortunately, so we take the L. Then we got to play at Carolina. Now, this game could go either way. If Cam Newton is in, it maybe is a challenge because when Cam Newton was in last year, the Panthers actually were 6-3. And then when he got injured, they just totally free-fall from there and they're 7-9. So the Panthers could be a bounce-back team simply because Cam Newton is back. So it could go either way. The Panthers could win this game, but at the same time, they don't really have that powerful of an offense. Like, their offense is, maybe on paper they do, but if you watch them play, to be honest, maybe I'm just saying this because I'm a Falcons fan, but their offense is kind of sluggish. So I think the Falcons defense is going to take a little bit of an advantage on that, and we win this one. The Panthers secondary stands no chance trying to defend our receivers, and Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones, and Mohamed Sanu. They stand no chance. A terrible secondary, a sluggish offense. I think we win this one. Versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Don't sleep on the Bucs. They do have Ndamukong Suh and Bruce Arians to not only help the defense, but also to help Jameis Winston. The Bucs have always had a good offense, so they could be a sleeper team. We'll see. But don't count on it. Don't count on it. They're still the Bucs. And I actually live in the, I live somewhat near Tampa. I'm in Orlando, but there's some Bucs fans here or there. But all I know is that they hype up the Bucs every year, and, well, they just kind of are disappointing every year. So that's kind of why I'm not really scared about Bruce Arians or Ndamukong Suh showing out. I think it's going to be the same result. The Bucs are still not going to be a very good team. I wouldn't be surprised if they were good. but they're not going to be good this year. They're going to keep it close like they always do. The Bucs seem to always keep games close, but they just can't ever finish. It's going to be the same here. And then the Thanksgiving night versus the New Orleans Saints. I am going to stick with what I said in the last video. I don't care. I don't care if this sounds biased. I don't care. I really do think this is what's going to happen. I think we are going to absolutely shred the New Orleans Saints on a Thanksgiving night. I don't care what you say. Falcons fans enjoy this, but other fans, now maybe there's Falcons fans saying I'm too biased and, oh, you're just hyping this up too much. And then there's those Saints fans that for some reason watch Falcons videos in the first place and they try to get their opinion out. I don't care. I think it's going to happen. They cannot stand a hyped up Atlanta crowd on a Thanksgiving night, and the Falcons want to get their revenge for what happened last year. Last year, we got shredded at New Orleans on a Thanksgiving night. It's going to be the exact opposite. The Saints will not be able to handle this Atlanta crowd. The whole Atlanta team, really. The Falcons are going to be hyped up to play on a Thanksgiving night in the new stadium. And another thing is that the Saints, you're telling me the Saints are actually going to win this game on a Thursday night when they're on the road? We saw last year, the Saints, look, they had plenty of time to prepare for that that Thursday night game against the Cowboys, even if they were on the road, and, well, they still lost. And most of the time, teams that are on the road on a Thursday game, they never really win anyway. Like we saw last year with the Falcons. They didn't win on the road, and then the Saints, 2017, the Saints couldn't win to the Falcons on the road. Teams that are on the road have a lot of trouble. So I think we are going to absolutely shred the Saints. Don't care what you say. Then, versus the Carolina Panthers, guys, we do this every year. We have yet to lose to the Panthers at home. The last time we lost to the Panthers at home was 2014. Does not matter how good the Panthers are when they're 14-0. Oh, well, we go ahead and beat them in Atlanta. And then 2016, oh, well, we go ahead and shred 300 yards for Julio Jones and 500 for Matt Ryan on that Panthers secondary. 2017, oh, that's right. All we have to do is win to the Panthers so we can get in the playoffs. And then last year, we just flat out beat them in Atlanta. Guys, we do this every year. No need to freak out. I'm not saying the Panthers just don't have a chance to be a surprise team, because they could be. But no, we're still going to win this game. We just seem to always beat the Panthers at home. Then at the San Francisco 49ers, this is maybe our toughest game of the year, maybe. Because, look, the 49ers are going to be a very competitive team. They got Jimmy Garoppolo back. They got Kyle Shanahan back. I know in my previous video, I said that they weren't that good on paper. I changed my mind. Like I said, they got Kyle Shanahan, Jimmy Garoppolo, then they got Tevin Coleman in the backfield, and they just need a little bit of help with receiver, but they do have George Kittle, and then they got Richard Sherman. You get the idea. They actually are a pretty good team, and, well, this is in San Francisco. And, of course, the 49ers are going to try and win this game to get in the playoffs. So, I don't know if we win this game. Atlanta to San Francisco, we don't struggle in the West Coast. We can beat the Raiders at Oakland like we did in 2016. We can beat the Seahawks in 2017 at Seattle. We don't struggle in the West Coast. But with a good team like this, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to win this one. Then, versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, guys, cut it out with the Nick Foles hype. He was only good because he had help in Philadelphia. Tell me, what in the world are you going to work with in the Jacksonville offense besides Leonard Fournette? But hello, he's a running back. So you're probably not going to throw it to him that much in the receiving game. What in the world? What receivers are you going to work with if you're Nick Foles in Jacksonville? Yeah, probably none. So he's going to struggle with a much less impressive offense like it was in Philadelphia. The Jaguars are just not a good team. They have a good defense, but they're not a good team, guys. Cut it out with the Nick Foles hype. And then also the Falcons are going to try and win this game just so they can get into the playoffs. and we have home field advantage. So we'll win this one. And then at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think at this point we already solidified our playoff spot. So maybe the Falcons won't necessarily try, but I don't know. I at the same time, they might still try and win this game just for pride, I guess. Like, we'll win this game. They're just the Bucs. I don't think they're going to be good this year. And yeah, we'll win to the Bucs. But that's all I have. I admittedly am so lost in my head that I actually forgot what I predicted the Falcons to be. So whatever the editing says, like whatever I type in to the video is what I predict them to go. I just can't remember in my head right now what I predicted it to be. I just kind of freestyled this. But anyway, I hope you guys agree with what I have to say. And make sure to smash that like button, blow up the comment section, and definitely hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any weekly content. There's new episodes every Tuesday and Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern. And I will see you guys this Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern. Rise up.